Hello, here's another keyboard review. I haven't gotten the stuff from wish.com or AliExpress or Top Hatter, so I'm gonna review a keyboard, since I have a lot of these. This keyboard is one I bought out of curiosity. I've used ergonomic keyboards before. Actually, years ago, I used to use a Microsoft one. Their original one where the space bar went all the way across, and they had the caps lock key, they had the caps lock key, not the caps lock key, but the light for the caps lock here, the num lock light, and it was right in here. I think there was scroll lock was in there too. So, and I've used one of those for quite a few years actually. And I loved it. And the keyboard I was using before all this hunting for keyboards, I may have mentioned this in a previous video. I think I did. Well, if I didn't, I'll mention it now. Because for 3 to 4 years, I was using Logitech's Wave. I was using that for a couple, 3 or 4 years. Because it died around, or stopped working around 2018, the end of 2018. And that's kind of what sparked all this, buying all these keyboards. It wasn't what, technically I did think about just buying another Wave, which I did end up doing. But what kind of triggered buying all these ones out of curiosity was I had a credit on Amazon, a $10 credit on Amazon that could only be used for things sold by Amazon. And so I bought an Amazon basic keyboard, which I didn't like, which I've never actually reviewed because I didn't like it, and I don't have it because I got rid of it. I recycled the mouse, and I think I just got rid of the keyboard itself. But anyway, I have a whole bunch of keyboards. I was using the Moto Speed. In one of my last videos, I had mentioned the Moto Speed. Actually, I may have mentioned it many times, actually, because I really like the Moto Speed mechanical keyboard. Anyway, but this keyboard I actually don't like, and it's actually not cheap either. This keyboard, the few times I was looking for it, it can be anywhere from $55 all the way up to $100. So it's not a cheap keyboard, but it feels cheap. This plastic here, oops, I'm bumping the tripod. But this plastic that this is made out of just feels really, really cheap. And it gets dust on it real easy apparently, but most keyboards are that way. But this feels really cheap. This just feels extremely cheap. It looks nice, but it feels cheap. Even the keys feel cheap. Like there's that $16 Office Tech keyboard that I bought. The plastic for that feels like the plastic for this. It's like, wow, this is cheap plastic, cheap material. And some of the reviews I found for this were saying the same thing. Yeah, it just feels really, really cheap. It does take AAA batteries. And so there's a few things I didn't like about it besides for feeling cheap. I didn't like that this space bar needs to be a little bit longer. I use my left hand for the space bar. I don't use my right hand or right thumb at all. I use my left thumb all the time for the space bar. But the way I put my hand on here is I usually have it right here, because that feels natural to me. So I'm like, so I'm typing and I'm only hitting here. So when I look at the screen for what I'm typing, there's no spaces. So like, so I didn't. So I like the Microsoft version because it went all the way across. The Wave goes all the way across as well. So although the Wave isn't that much of a, it's got a very, very minute curve to it. Anyway, you've probably seen the Wave. Anyway, one thing I also noticed is that even though this side of it is a little bit thicker than this side of it, it's not enough. It feels like it needs to have feet on it. Well, it does have feet, kind of. It has these, but it needs to be able to raise up more, in my opinion. It needs to raise up like half an inch to an inch, because I did actually put something underneath of it that was about maybe 3/4 of an inch. I didn't measure it. I think it was like 3/4 of an inch, and that felt more comfortable. Oops. One thing I did like about the keyboard is that it has the light to indicate whether the battery's good or bad. I need to catch my breath. Talking too fast. Anyway, let's see. There's two other lights on there, one for the caps lock and one for the num lock. And one of the things I noticed is that stays on for quite a long time, which some people may or may not like. That may be why the batteries drain fairly quickly. But it does that. That battery light does light up red if the batteries are low, so that's good. Now this mouse that came with it, because it's a set, you can buy this mouse by itself for anywhere from $20 to $30. That wasn't me that hit the tripod. This I actually will admit I like this mouse, except for it's a little bigger than most, if not all, the other mice I have. It feels like a Logitech mouse, which is kind of interesting. Actually, I have a Logitech mouse. Let's pause this and go get the Logitech mouse. Actually, I'll go get the Wave too, because I do actually have the Wave, so I did eventually buy it. I'll go get both. I'll go with the Wave and the Logitech mouse. Okay, sorry about that. I got both. So this is the Logitech mouse, and this is the I don't know how you pronounce that brand. I'll just let you look at it. But the feel of it is similar. I mean, obviously it's bigger. You can definitely tell it's bigger. The material on the side here looks almost the same. Like it feels like the same material. It doesn't quite look the same, but it does feel like it's the same material. To me, it feels like the exact same material. This material feels the same. Obviously, you can tell that this part's different. This side here, it's the same type of material, and obviously there's this little bump here and a little bump there. So it feels like this mouse feels a lot like this one, except obviously it's bigger. So the only complaint I have is the size on this. If it was more like this, if it was more like this one, it would be great. Oh, and it's got dust on it. But that's what I get for... Anyway, hey, I'm actually got this room painted. The drywall's all done, and it's the drywall mud or whatever you call that is all up. The plaster, I guess is what you call that. So there won't be as much plaster around here, but or plaster dust. But yeah, it feels like a Logitech mouse. Oh, the cats just hit the tripod. They're playing over there. Okay, but yeah, this feels like a Logitech mouse. It's just a lot bigger. Some people, it's one of the complaints about this mouse is it only lasts 2 to 3 months, and then just stops working. Even if you change the batteries, it stops working. I haven't used it for that long. I didn't use it for that long. I haven't used it for that long. Maybe I'll have to test it and see. So I may have to test that and get back to you on that. But I don't actually like it, because even though it is a lot like a Logitech mouse, it is, like it's really too big. So my hand doesn't really like it because it's too big. But here's the Wave. See, it's not as big of it is an ergonomic one, but it's not as big of a curve. And this is actually my favorite ergonomic keyboard. And I used one of these, not this one, but one of these for 3 to 4 years. One of my favorite keyboards. So Ow, kitties, don't bite my hand. But yeah, ouch, ouch, that hurts. That hurt. No, I'm not a toy. Okay, but yeah, this is the Wave. I love this keyboard. And this keyboard, this Wave, is a lot cheaper than this. Even with the key, and this kit comes with the Wave. So, only reason I don't use that is because I've been testing out these other keyboards, and I like the motor speed. So, and this has feet. See, this has feet. The Logitech one has feet. So they should do that with that one. Yeah, and they just I don't know. Since they may have copied, I don't know if they actually copied Logitech or not, but this is so much like a Logitech mouse, it's just bigger. Obviously this is different, but that's kind of interesting how it's so much like a Logitech mouse. But yeah, I guess that's the review for this keyboard. It definitely feels cheap, especially if I compare this keyboard with the Wave over here. Oh, Kitty, you hit the tripod. Oh, you're hitting the tripod, Kitty. Simba. Okay. Simba, you're hitting the tripod. Simba and Mint is playing over here. That gray one's called Mint. Okay. Will you stop playing with? Well, you can play with each other, but sorry, I shouldn't have told them not to play. But anyway, yeah, these keys feel much higher quality. Even the plastic here feels much higher quality on the Logitech one here. This feels like much higher quality plastic. Even the keys feel much higher quality, and this is cheaper. But again, this was bought out of curiosity. But it definitely, there is a major difference in if I go from this one, just having that one in my hands to this one. This feels so much cheaper. it feels like that $16 Office Tech keyboard that was so low quality. That was a $16 keyboard, but this is over 16. This was, what'd I say, 50 something to almost 100, depending on where you get it and all that. It's not worth that. It's definitely not worth it. But it does have all the extra keys that do work. I did try those. Well, I didn't try these up top. I did try the ones over there. So actually, it looks like it has a lot of the same keys that the Logitech one has. But yeah, it's definitely not a great keyboard. I don't like it. What are you doing? Simba, you trying to knock over the Simba. What you doing? Okay. See, Simba's that orange one right there. See, that's Simba. Okay. Okay, but I'm gonna stop because the cats are trying to play, and I'm gonna let them play. Okay.